Well, we're already 4 days into the new year, and be honest, have you already broken your New Year's resolution? Whether it's to save money, exercise more, or cut down on drinking, it does take some discipline. And there's long been a claim that it takes a certain amount of time to form a habit. But is that true? 10 Tampa Bay anchor Frank Wiley verifies what's behind the claim and why it may not work for you.
All right, so we turn to these sources. Jackie Greco, a licensed clinical mental health counselor, and a study on habit forming published in the European Journal of Social Psychology. First, the thought that it takes a certain amount of days or weeks to build a habit goes back decades.
That is actually a myth that came from the 50s when a plastic surgeon wrote a paper about when patients are getting used to looking at their new face after they've received plastic surgery, and how he noticed that it took an average of 21 days for an old mental image to dissolve and for a new image to take place, which then I think was misinterpreted and rolled with to become the idea of being, well, 21 days of completing a task. That means that you've built a new habit.
The study on habit forming involved 96 volunteers. They chose eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. Each day, they recorded if they carried out that behavior. 82 of the participants provided sufficient data for analysis.
What she found was that on average, it takes about 2 months or 66 days before a new behavior becomes automatic. For some people, it took as little as 18 days. For some people, it took as much as 254 days to form a new habit.
There is no one reason for why it takes some folks longer and some people shorter time to form a habit.
It really depends. It depends on the behavior itself that you're trying to change. It depends on the person. And it depends on the circumstances that are both in and out of people's control when they're trying to change.
The study found missing one opportunity to perform the behavior did not impact the habit forming process.
When we are only focused on the goal of whether or not we completed that task, what we're not focusing on are building those conscious behaviors and processes to make sure that we're actually incorporating a new habit into our daily life.
So we can verify there is no specific length of time it takes to form a habit. With your Verify, I'm Frank Wiley.